Obviously, the first time I've seen you since that horrible defeat. Is that not a nice way to go, was it?
No, it wasn't. Look, but I'm over it. You know, it's in my head going into the fight, and I've said it so many times. But I was retiring anyway. I wanted to win the fight, and I thought I could win the fight, but I just found out about halfway through the third round that I wasn't the fighter that I used to be. So yeah, it was a shame I wasn't able to pull it off, but I had a go, so I'm over it, mate. I'm not disappointed.
It's a horrible feeling, like you described there, just like at the middle of the third round. So suddenly, you must be like, how do you describe that?
It was mad because he's a good fighter, Jamel Herring. No, I don't want to do a disservice to him, but I feel like he's a lot bigger on me, obviously. But I thought that he'd a tail on his shoulder every time he threw, like his shoulder moved a little bit when he threw his jab. So I seen the shoulder move, and his jab was still hit me. And that's when you know it's time to get out.
But I saw afterwards. I mean, obviously, you know, as you're going to be, you're like floods of tears. Very emotional moment, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I was because it was the end of my career, and I knew that, and I wanted to win the fight, and I was away from my family, and loads of emotions, and you know, Tommy Coyle called me tiny tears in the gym anyway, and I was a wreck for a while, wasn't I? And looking back now, it's a bit like, it's a bit embarrassing. Like, you know, no, I know, but like, it's all right, a few tears, like, but me, I was balling, wasn't I?
Yeah, I think I would be too, to be fair. But having said that, I mean, when you look back, grandchildren, that usual classic. I mean, there's a lot of good things that have happened in your career.
That's the thing. Reflection. Someone asked me tonight actually about have I reflected yet, but it's still all a bit too fresh. I think that's you do that in 5-10 years time, or whatever. Like my kids, my youngest lad especially, Rossa, like since he's been alive, he only really remembers the defeats, the Warrington fight, and the Jamel Herring defeat. So he doesn't even know if I'm any good or not. He thinks I'm useless, I think. So when he gets a bit older and he can start watching things back, hopefully he'll realise that I was all right.
Oh, I'm sure he will, mate. Yeah, there's a decent highlights reel. Double world champion, 2-weight world champion, arguably the greatest boxer Northern Ireland's ever produced. I mean, it's not bad, is it?
Well, it's not an argument, is it? No, only joking. No, but yeah, look, I've done more than I ever wanted to do in my career. I wanted to become a world champion, and I would have, if I had the option of winning a world title and losing it my next fight, I'd have taken that at the start. So to become a 2-weight world champion, unify division, the fighter of the year in 2016, try to become a 3-weight world champion, even though I failed, and I done way more than I could have ever imagined, really. So I can't really be disappointed about that.
What now? What you do? I bet you, the one bit you don't miss is trying to make weight.
Well, yeah, I'm the heaviest I've ever been right now. So I've got on a wee bit of a plan together to try and get into shape, and I'm starting to do weights, a wee bit of running and stuff. But it's good to be. I feel like the shackles are off a bit, and I'm not being dictated to by boxing time frames and training camps and fight dates. So I can just relax, and I'm enjoying life at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of lads flying the flag for Belfast. Obviously, you've got Mick Collin, then we've got a lad on tonight, Kevin. What do you think of him?
Kevin's a good fighter. He's got a really, really exciting style. I think he's going to... Well, he's a pro fighter. I think he's maybe about 8 fights he's had, something like that. But I think they can move him along pretty quick. I think he's potentially one of the Belfast bright stars. And you've got Mick, obviously, going to headline a bill here in the Fela, which is always a big event back home. And you've got a lot of other talent coming through. We're never shy of a bit of talent in Belfast, especially, and in Ireland really as a whole. And as long as these kids continue to produce the goods, I think we're in a good position.